Most people hear West Austin immediately assume it's too expensive, too far, or not practical for everyday living. But what's interesting is that once people actually explore that side of the city, it quickly becomes one of their top choices, especially in 2026, where buyers are starting to prioritize lifestyle, long-term value, and the overall quality of living over just price and proximity alone. Hey guys, my name is Kinan Beck, your friend in real estate here in the Austin metro area. Our goal with this YouTube channel is to be your one source for all your real estate and relocation needs in Austin. We aim to give you the most reliable, most practical, most data-driven information you can or cannot find online. If you're planning to move to Austin, I'd love to help you. I've helped thousands of families since 1995, and my team and I would love to add you to our client family. So do me a favor, email me at the link below, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. West Austin stands out because of how different it feels compared to the rest of the city, and that starts with its natural environment. Areas like Lake Austin and Barton Creek give you hills, water, trees, and views that are hard to find anywhere else in Austin. And instead of feeling like you're in a busy, fast-paced city, it feels more like private, more established, and more relaxed, which is exactly what buyers are looking for once they've experienced the traffic in other areas of town. One of the biggest concerns people bring up is price, and there's no way around it. West Austin is one of the more expensive parts of the city, but that price is directly tied to some of the strongest fundamentals in the Austin market. Let's start with the highly rated schools, the limited inventory, and the consistent demand, which all contribute to the property values that tend to hold steady even when the market shifts. So instead of viewing it as just higher cost, many buyers start to see it as more secure and long-term investment. Another thing you'll hear is many of the homes in West Austin feel older, more traditional as compared to newer developments, places like East Austin or some of these suburbs. But that's also what gives the area its character. It's going to have mature trees, larger lots, and neighborhoods that feel established rather than newly built. It's perfect for buyers who don't want cookie-cutter homes. This becomes a huge advantage because it offers something unique that newer communities are still trying to replicate. Traffic is another topic that comes up a lot, especially with certain roads in West Austin that can feel limited or congested during peak hours. But the reality is, people who live here tend to structure their lifestyles differently. They're often closer to schools, local restaurants, and the essential spots. When they do go to Austin, it's usually intentional, not something that they're dealing with on a daily commute, which changes the way traffic actually impacts their quality of life. West Austin is also not as walkable as downtown, and for some buyers, that initially feels like a downside. But instead, what you're going to gain is space, privacy, and a completely different living experience. You're not stepping into crowds or constant activity. You're coming home to quieter streets, better views, and an environment that feels more calm and controlled. And for many people, that trade-off is exactly what they're looking for. Another major advantage of West Austin is how well it holds its identity over time. As Austin continues to grow and develop, certain areas change quickly. But West Austin tends to remain consistent because of zoning, geography, and the type of developments allowed. And that consistency is a big reason why it continues to attract buyers who are thinking long-term and want to be in an area that won't drastically change overnight. You're seeing more interest from buyers who want a balance between city access and everyday comfort, and West Austin sits right in the middle of that ground. You can still go downtown when you want to, but you're not living in the middle of noise and activity. And that separation creates a lifestyle that feels a little bit more sustainable over time. Now, when it comes to actually buying in West Austin, that's where working with the right real estate agent becomes extremely important, because not every part of West Austin is the same, and the small differences in location can be a big impact on value, school zoning, and the overall experience. And on top of that, some of the best homes, especially the higher end areas, never even make it to the public market, which means if you're only searching online, you're missing a lot of opportunities. A good local agent doesn't just help you find the right listings, they're going to help you understand which areas align with your lifestyle, which streets hold the best value, and how to position yourself in a competitive situation, especially in a market like West Austin where demand can still be strong for the right properties. At the same time, they're also helping you avoid common mistakes like overpaying for homes that don't hold their value, or choosing the location that won't actually fit your day-to-day needs. And that kind of guidance becomes more important in higher price point areas where decisions carry a lot more weight. Another thing to consider is how West Austin fits in your long-term plans, because it's not just about where you live today, it's about how the home is going to perform over time. And historically, areas like West Austin have shown strong resilience because of their location, school districts, and overall desirability, which makes it appealing not just as a place to live, but as a long-term asset or investment. At the end of the day, West Austin is not for everyone, and that's exactly why it works well for the right people. If you're looking for nightlife, walkability, and constant activity, you might feel a little bit more at home in downtown Austin. But if you're looking for space, privacy, views, and more stable environment, West Austin starts to make a lot of sense. What many people initially see as downsides, like higher prices, older homes, and less walkability, often become exact reasons why they choose to live here. These factors are directly tied to what makes the area desirable and consistent over time. So if you're thinking about moving to Austin and West Austin is on your list, the most important step is to really understand the different pockets, understanding what each area offers and how it fits into your lifestyle. And that's why having the right guidance can make all the difference. Because once you see how everything lines up, the decision becomes much clearer and much more confident.